Welcome to another edition of the news in Africa and the world. Let's open today's edition in Mali, where the opposition has rejected concessions by President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta geared towards resolving an escalating political disaster that has sparked lethal protest, saying it could be happy provided he resigns. Keïta introduced in a televised speech late Saturday he was dissolving the Constitutional Court and will move to implement suggestions made in the final report of ECOWAS last month, which included rerunning matches, contested legislative elections. 4 people were reported dead overnight and 6 opposition figures have been detained. The atmosphere remained tense on the streets of Bamako of Sunday as hundreds of people converged on the Badala Bougou district for the funerals of the 4 killed in the violence, the worst civil unrest in years of the West African country. In Burkina Faso, after several hours of closed-door discussions among party delegates, the president of the People's Movement for Progress, the MPP party, Simon Compaoré, announced to cheering supporters in the capital Ouagadougou that President Roch-Marc Christian Kaboré will run for re-election despite struggling to crush a bloody jihadist insurgency. Kaboré himself could not attend the event because of his role, said a party executive. Thousands turned out in a massive show of force. Crowds wearing the party colors of white and orange had been brought in from all over the country to voice their support. The Prime Minister and the First Lady also turned up at the stadium, ignoring the COVID-19 pandemic, to extend their support as the crowd shouted MPP victory. Kaboré's performance during mounting jihadist offensive crisis is now under scrutiny as the presidential ballot looms in November. Also in Tanzania, the National Congress of the country's ruling Chama Mapinduzi CCM party over the weekend endorsed President John Magufuli as its candidate in the country's general elections slated for October this year. Magufuli, who is seeking to be re-elected for a second and final 5-year term in office, gathered 100% of the votes from the CCM's national delegates. The president, however, rejected talk of him running for a third term. The idea was raised by retired President Ali Hassan Mwinyi. Magufuli, in rejecting the proposition, said the former leader was cracking some usual jokes. Taking you out of Africa, right-wing Polish President Andrzej Duda has won a new 5-year term, beating his Eurofield rival Rafał Trzaskowski. Official results show this Monday, July 13. With a 99.97% of ballots counted, the National Election Commission said Duda had won a 51.21% against a 48.79% for Warsaw Mayor Rafał. The results showed it was one of the closest elections in Poland's history, reflecting the deep division in this European Union nation. Sunday's vote was originally planned for May, but was delayed amid bitter political quarrels. Duda, who is backed by the right-wing Law and Justice Party, campaigned on traditional values and social spending in this mostly Catholic nation as he sought a second term. In an economic news, the British government has announced nearly €800 million in funding for new border infrastructure to prepare for checks and controls from January 2021 after the post-Brexit transition ends. There are plans for new border posts, improved technology and hundreds of extra staff to deal with the impact from the UK's departure from the EU's customs union, regardless the outcome of trade talks. Cabinet Office Minister Michael Gove said the £705 million investment will ensure that borders were ready for full independence when the UK takes back control. It covers EU borders with Great Britain, England, Scotland and Wales. Plans for Northern Ireland are expected to be announced later. Over to the United States, Florida reported a record increase of more than 15,000 new cases of the coronavirus in 24 hours on Sunday as the Trump administration renewed its push for schools to reopen and anti-mask protests were planned in Michigan and Missouri. Florida's daily increase in cases have already surpassed the highest daily tally reported by any European country during the height of the pandemic there. It has surpassed New York State's record of over 12,000 new cases on April 10, when it was the epicenter of the U.S. outbreak. According to Reuters analysis, if Florida were a country, it would rank fourth in the world of the most new cases in a day, behind the United States, Brazil, and India. Still in the U.S., President Donald Trump finally yielded to pressure and wore a face mask for the first time in public over the weekend as the U.S. posted another daily record of COVID-19. The navy blue mask with a gold presidential seal on the side could be seen as Trump entered the hospital to visit wounded service members and healthcare workers who have been on the front lines of the coronavirus outbreak. The president had repeatedly avoided wearing a mask even after staffers at the White House tested positive for the virus, and as more aides have taken to wearing them. He, however, did not wear it while speaking with reporters outside the White House. Most prominent Republicans, including Vice President Mike Pence, endorsed wearing face masks as the coronavirus gained ground this summer. That's it. Thank you very much for watching the news. Don't go away. Programs continue on TBS television until we come your way. Do take care and stay safe.